So I've really been wanting to make a video on this because I've decided to recently I've decided to retract from my work a little bit to do some more inner work and to do some integration work and just do some other stuff that I haven't been able to do because I was so occupied with my clients. So, and a factor that went into the whole thing was just that I had to just really reorganize my own judgment towards the types of questions I was getting. And it's not like a logical judgment from like my ego. Like I don't judge people. Like I don't judge any of my clients for the kind of questions they're asking. You know, it's not that kind of judgment, but the judgment that I developed, the type of feeling that gets provoked towards the observation that I'm making of how broken people are. Let me give you an example. Well, I'm not going to give you a specific example, but like just to discuss the specific context here, people asking certain types of questions, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's frustrating for me, and it blows my mind because I cannot even believe that you're asking me this kind of question because you should already know how to operate. You should know these things. And who's responsible for that? It's not them. It's not these people that I'm mad at. It's not these people that I'm frustrated at. It's the collective thing it's a collective issue it's a collective issue at hand that I am very frustrated about. But you see, the frustration is not coming from my ego. Like it has nothing to do with, like, it's not going to make me feel some type of way towards my clients. If anything, it helps me feel more compassion towards them. It invokes compassion and just so much passion for them, right? Because that's why I do what I do. But the frustration is the fact that how could you be asking these questions because the society failed you. Like asking questions like asking elementary questions like is it okay for me to feel this way? I'm talking about these elementary questions like, is it okay for me to feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel so hurt in these types of situations? And it's like, it makes me mad because it tells me how their parents or their upbringing or education or the society didn't even teach you these things to properly equip yourself emotionally and mentally to navigate through this world. Like, you are literally at your grown age, you're asking these questions. And once again, I'm not blaming these people. Like, if anything, I want to stand up for these people, and that's why I do what I do, like I said. But wow, as a society, they failed you, and your parents failed you, and of course, it's a layered issue because we can't even talk about it like it's not even our parents' fault because our parents also had their parents, and it's a generational, it's a collective issue at hand. That's what I'm talking about. And it just boils me so much because I just can't believe the type of questions people are asking. Like, honestly, age is irrelevant because, our body knows no time. And your maturity doesn't develop just because you're aging physically, right? It's the fact that people truly lack emotional equipment to navigate through these difficult times, and the fact that our society didn't prepare us to deal with these things easily. Like the society and the education, the whole world, it generated people who it created us to be lacking in critical thinking, lacking in self-respect, and just self-advocacy. And that's what I'm mad about. And so I know that in order for me to really be the best guide for people, obviously I am completely objective, but I just can't help but to feel some type of way about these types of questions people are asking, because it is not like a singular individual problem. This is a collective issue. And why are there so many broken people? And I'm not even separating myself from these people because, even my own life, I didn't have a role model. I didn't have people teaching me how to navigate, how to have strong mentality. I raised myself basically because I didn't have anyone showing me how to properly feel or how to even accept certain feelings, how to be okay with certain things. I never these are not things that people learn from their parents. I mean, 99% of the time, I'm sure there are good parents out there who really advocate for their children's sovereignty and their empowerment. I believe there are parents like that, yes. But most of the time, like, most of us are suffering from like traumas. We're repeating cycles. We are repeating our brokenness, and we're passing that down to our children, and it is not okay. And I guess what fuels my frustration is, I guess, like, even looking at my personal life, like, I really didn't have that, and that's why I'm gonna keep going back to the same thing. It's why I do what I do, because it fuels my passion even more. The fact that the way I am standing up for people, I am the woman that I am today. This is the woman that I needed as a child. The woman who properly educates people on how to love yourself, how to be there for yourself, how to show up for yourself. Why didn't we learn these things? Like, we deserve nothing but these things as a child. Why is it that most of us are dealing with trauma? It's like, well, why is it that most of us are dealing with self-esteem issues, questioning our worth, and people-pleasing behaviors, and repeating cycles in our relationships, even as an adult, because we didn't know how to properly receive or to practice love as a child? Obviously, then we're going to repeat the same thing as an adult, and then creating more traumas for ourselves. And like, being so ashamed of our feelings and our authentic emotions, like, this is not okay, right? So I caught myself feeling increasingly frustrated at these types of questions that I'm receiving, and it's like, this is an actual problem that we have. And I had to, like, really step back, because this is why I don't really, like, I really stand strongly behind my word when it comes to describing my services, because I'm not just for people who just need fortune telling, like psychic readings. You cannot heal through readings. You cannot heal through fortune telling, because what needs to be done, and the way you are creating your reality, and the way you incite these cycles and repeat things, is the way you feel about yourself. And without doing work on that aspect of yourself, no fortune that's coming your way will be sustained and appreciated, which means that there is no fortune, because fortune is not only what comes to you, but also how you experience it, how you react to it, how you receive it. And without proper spiritual stamina, not only will you not be able to go through things to get to the path of receiving reward, but when the reward is there, you won't even know how to properly receive that. And just having these different epiphanies about just like I really don't feel separate from any of this, because I'm also a product of like abuse and trauma. So like, if anything, like, I feel so strongly about this, and I want nothing more than these people to find healing upon themselves, because there's nothing more liberating than healing. But yeah, I definitely did want to talk about the fact that it's a collective issue, like how immature people are spiritually and mentally and emotionally. And I'm not saying that from a place of judgment, but rather I am stunned. I'm astounded at the way that society and the system failed people. That's what I'm stunned at. These people are not to be blamed, because these people are byproducts of what the society has created them. We are social animals. Like, the way we have constructed our life and ourselves, even the way we think about ourselves, it is a byproduct of the society. It has nothing to do with our true essence. And that's what I try to remind people of. Your true essence, your true authenticity, the way you can create your life, the way you feel about yourself, the way you want to, the way you feel empowered through your own awareness and acknowledgement of your own essence. That's what I'm trying to awaken in people. And I felt that I needed to talk about this, because I don't ever want people to think, well, it's not even what people think. This is just how I am. Like, and people probably don't even know that I think these things like deeply, because like, I literally take every single client, every single one of the people that I interact with, whether it's a client or a friend, I take every moment of it very preciously. Like, I don't take any minute of my work for granted, because I am in this privileged position to do God's work. I'm helping people heal. And of course, healing is difficult. I do not place myself in a position of doing the healing work for people, because people have to ultimately awaken the power within and have to do the healing work themselves in order to fully awaken that healing. I'm just a guide, right? But I know why it's so difficult to keep the process going. It's not just about the initiation process, because it's not an overnight thing. You have to do this continuously, but it's difficult because why? Because your inner voice tells you everything. Your inner voice is like against you. People's inner voice is telling them that you're a failure when you're sad. People don't know how to properly embrace all aspects of themselves, let alone allow themselves to feel emotions freely, because they feel ashamed. Because as a child, they were always told to think this way or that way. Like they were never granted the opportunity to own up to their sovereignty. And this is the problem. This is why I feel like during this moment of stepping back, like because I always like to remind people, when you heal, the collective also heals. Because you are part of this collective consciousness. So when one person heals, that effect is so impactful that it creates like a ripple effect in other people as well. This is why I always promote healing, like work on yourself, focus on yourself, don't worry about other people, like do what you need to do for yourself, and then like watch what happens around you. So by me stepping back, like, and not only am I consciously thinking about ways to be more effective in the way that I can facilitate healing on other people and to inspire other people, but it's just I'm taking a step back. Well, other than me taking a step back for myself to kind of further facilitate healing on myself, because I have some work to do. It's not really like, it's like shedding, more like just facing what I need to face as well. Because just because I am being a healer as a shaman in the place of healing other people, it doesn't mean I am void of work that needs to be done, because we are constantly progressing and we're constantly evolving. But I really want to just develop my vision into ways that I can facilitate healing in a more productive way, and potentially like attract opportunities that will put me in those positions of spreading this type of information in a more productive way. And it doesn't have to be me being in a place of like, giving divination, because this shouldn't have to start in adulthood. This is something that kids and children need to understand. And because this is where it begins. It's like these adults are coming to me because they never got this type of validation or the information when they were younger. And this is what you deserved as a child. Like, I need people to understand that. I don't want people to ever feel like they're in the wrong for asking these types of questions. Like, you're not at fault for this. You're fine. You're not at fault for asking these questions. You're not at fault for having failures, making mistakes. And somebody should have been there for you. Somebody should have been there to help you, guide you, walk you through, hold your hand. You deserve that. And I am so sorry that you did not have that person who guided you that way. Like, I'm so sorry that the world failed you, the society failed you, government failed you, your parents failed you, your upbringing failed you, your past failed you. I am so sorry. If you're watching this, I am so sorry. Because you deserve nothing short of that. That validation, that support, that protection. And the fact that you feel insecure because you don't feel like you don't trust yourself, because you never were guided to trust yourself, this is a problem. And it's not even your own individual problem, because collectively people have this issue in their core. And I am more than 100% determined to really spread this awareness. And I really want to help kids. I want to help children learn this at an early age. And I can't just expect the parents to stand up, because why? Because these parents are also kids at heart as well. A lot of these parents, the label of being a parent does not do anything. Like, a lot of these parents are still broken people. They are still children at heart. So how could a child teach their children just because they're not grown up in their body? It doesn't work like that. It has to start with, and then it creates further generational problems, because the cycle goes on, because you're either repeating a cycle or creating a new one, or healing through the cycle. So I'm just making this video to get these words out, like where my head is at this, because I don't just do this work just in execution. Like when I do this work, every moment, like I am thinking, I'm observing, and the only way we're going to create change is by making note of observation and being directive and assertive with where we are going to take that information forth. And I'm just making my intentions known and clear that I really care about people. Like I'm here to fully stand up for people. Because I know what it's like to not feel supported. I know what it's like to not, I know what it's like to feel resentful towards your past, your caretakers, or your people around your relationships, because you feel like no one sees you for who you are. You know, like I know what that feels like. And you know, me having become the woman that I needed as a child, I'm so proud of myself for this. I really love the woman that I am. I really love the person that I've become today. But it doesn't stop here. I want to fully like help people. I want to stand up for other people. I want to become the voice for the voiceless. I need people to know that they're powerful. I want people to understand that they don't have to live like that. I want people to understand that there's more power within them they can activate. And the only way for you to do that is by releasing shame. It's not even about you working on your insecurities, because how could you work on your insecurities when you haven't released the shame? And I want to be, the fact that they didn't have anyone to hold their hand, their parents failed them, their mom failed them. And that's why people call me their mom. Like literally, I mean, we make jokes about this, but clients call me mom, and just people on my social media platforms call me mom. It's fine. I will be your mom. I will. I have no problem doing that. You need one. And I will be your mom. And there's just a lot of work to be done here collectively. And I will do my part. But also starting off with myself, implementing more shift within myself, implementing these downloads, and just doing some more work within myself, and just find some groundedness within first. And then energetically, I'm sure we can create some shift here. But for this video, I just want to talk about like just how I feel about like certain observations that I've made, and just how I feel about just just my sentiments. And also, like, from this video, I have briefly explained like a very small portion of why I do what I do, or why I'm so passionate. I mean, this was a very small portion. There's so much more I could talk about here, but the why is the fact that I understand. Like, I'm not above you. I know how you feel. I'm here. I'm right here with you. I'm right here on this battlefield with you, fighting with you. Like, I've been there, you know. And I've also seen for myself how much life can change when you step up, and when you take control over yourself, and when you empower, when you find empowerment within. So, taking this time to thank God again for keeping me receptive to these feelings and this observation and information, and for this chance to practice humility and gratitude.